Hello and welcome to Football Daily, where today we've partnered with Football Manager to bring you 10 superstars who were tearing up FM before you even knew their names. 10. Sergio Aguero. We're taking you way back to FM 2006 for our first entry, and it's Manchester City's Sergio Aguero. On the game's release, Aguero was just 17 years old, but was already rated as a formidable all-round striker. The Football Manager scouts gave the Argentinian high marks for composure, finishing, technique and determination, despite him having just scored 5 professional goals at that point, and their confidence was well founded. Aguero hit 18 of Independiente's 52 goals the following season, became Atletico's record signing at €20 million, and won Olympic gold by the time he turned 20. He outscored Eto'o and Van Nistelrooy in La Liga at 19 years old, and since 2007, he's got into double figures every single season, a record of 10 consecutive campaigns. The little forward now has over 300 career strikes, more than Fernando Torres or Gabi Batistuta. So gold star for this one. 9. Cesc Fabregas. Now 30, it feels like Cesc Fabregas has lived in England longer than the country of his birth. In this time, his game's become a hybrid of Spanish purism and British grit and determination. And for the Catalonian, this whirlwind journey all started in North London at the tender age of 16. Despite the dodgy haircut, it was a year to remember for Cesc, becoming Arsenal's youngest ever player and youngest ever goalscorer during the Gunners' unbeaten season. Unfortunately for the young Spaniard, he didn't play enough minutes to pick up a Premier League winners' medal, but his potential didn't go unnoticed in the 2005 edition of Football Manager. Handed a -10 potential, Fabregas was guaranteed to be world-class on the game, if not the best midfielder in the world. And in reality, the Spaniard certainly reached the same dizzying heights, including a 30 Premier League goal and assist season for Arsenal, 2 appearances in the Euros team of the tournament, a World Cup medal and 2 Premier League trophies with Chelsea. Not to forget, in that time, he also threw pizza at Sir Alex Ferguson. Get in. 8. Danny Murphy. Okay, bear with us on this one, because Danny Murphy may not quite have reached the same level as Sergio Aguero and Cesc Fabregas, but in a way, the English midfielder is the best example of foresight we've come to expect from FM's aficionados. In 1992, it was decided the game should incorporate advice from real-life scouts to give it an authentic edge, and among safer bets like Roberto Carlos at Inter Milan and Edgar Davids at Ajax, FM's talent spotters named Murphy, then a 15-year-old in Crewe Alexandra's academy, as a future top-flight star with a chance at making the England team. Murphy hadn't even made a first-team appearance at that point, but he ended up winning 9 international caps and playing 428 times in the Prem, more than Ashley Cole or Patrick Vieira. 7. Marco Verratti. Recently mooted as a €100 million option for Barcelona, it's safe to say that Marco Verratti is one of the most coveted players in world football, having made the French Team of the Year for the last 5 seasons. FM flagged him up in 2010 when Verratti was playing as a number 10 for Serie B outfit Pescara, who at that point had granted him just 7 games. Given a -9 rating, the 17-year-old quickly became a favourite of FM obsessives, not least because his $250k price tag was an 1/8 the cost of John Joe Shelvey. These days, that's less than Verratti earns in 2 weeks playing for PSG, who bought him for €12 million in 2012 and immediately switched him to a deep-lying playmaker. Turns out, FM got this one very right, but not as much as someone at the Parc des Princes. 6. Raja Nainggolan. A name not known to many fans until his switch to Roma, and to be honest, we still can't spell it. The guys over at FM had their eyes on Nainggolan all the way back in 2009. At the time, the midfielder was at Piacenza in Serie B, 21 years old, and about to become a starter for the very first time. Deployed anywhere in midfield, Nainggolan's aggressive but intelligent play attracted the attention of Cagliari, staying with the Sardinian outfit until he was 25. How or why no one picked him up by this age is beyond us, but Italian scouts clearly never played FM09. Eventually, the midfielder got his big break, signing on loan for Roma before they made the move permanent. Since then, he's become one of the world's most complete central midfielders, even playing behind the striker in 2016-17, getting over double digits in the league. Somebody should get a bonus for this particular shout. 5. Gonzalo Higuain. Chronic goal scorer Gonzalo Higuain is now Naples' most hated man after his move to Juventus. But over a decade ago, he started his career at River Plate, scoring 15 goals in 37 appearances. This impressive strike ratio earned Higuain a €12 million move to the Bernabeu, but more importantly, a -9 potential rating on FM 2007. But at Real Madrid, it was a case of always the bridesmaid and never the bride for the Argentine, as he was surrounded by seemingly superior superstars, making just 132 starts for Los Blancos, despite being in their matchday squad 211 times. However, in those limited minutes, Higuain averaged better than a goal every other game, with his best return being a bananas 27 goals in 32 appearances. The striker would only better that in season 2015-16, with his 36 Serie A goals equaling Gino Rossetti's record set in the 1920s. Looks like FM's researchers got El Papita's potential spot on. 4. Vincent Kompany. Poor old Vincent, a career curtailed by successive injuries. But all the way back in the era of FM 2005, the Belgian was about to enter his second season as an Anderlecht starter at the tender age of 18. The responsibility on his shoulders was made even heavier by FM giving the Belgian a -10 potential, meaning on the game he'd become one of the best defenders in the world. Unfortunately, Kompany's early 20s weren't a roaring success, and a move to Manchester City in 2008 was exactly what he needed to resurrect his career. As a result, Kompany became one of the last few signings before Khaldoun Al-Mubarak's huge investment followed, and arguably none of the oil money splurges since have proved more valuable than the pittance spent on Kompany. And despite playing just under 2,000 minutes over the past couple of seasons for the Citizens, he's still their defensive linchpin whenever fit. 3. Javier Mascherano. The first, and unfortunately not the last, former West Ham player on this list. The Little Chief earned his stripes at River Plate, making 70 appearances before a $10 million move to Brazil. However, an injury-plagued couple of seasons stalled his development, as did his future transfer to East London. Mascherano made a paltry 5 appearances for West Ham, with the Argentine claiming that manager Alan Pardew didn't know his best position. But a much bigger club with a much better manager came after him, and Liverpool saw the best of the defensive midfielder's stint while in England. Forming a world-class triumvirate alongside Xabi Alonso and Steven Gerrard, Mascherano somehow never won a single trophy at Anfield, but rectified that problem emphatically at Barcelona, picking up 17 winners' medals in Catalonia. Now he's just 4 caps away from being Argentina's record appearance maker. Looks like the Football Manager crystal ball was on fire all the way back in 2005. 2. Sergio Ramos. It may surprise you to learn that Leo Messi was not the top-rated talent on FM 2006. Above the little Argentinian were just 2 youngsters, Jose Antonio Reyes and Sergio Ramos. Ramos had already moved to Real Madrid for €27 million, but had played just 46 top-flight games and was only 19 years old. The Spaniard's early days in Madrid saw him shifted around from right-back to centre-back to defensive midfield, and it took him until 2009 to establish himself in the heart of defence. FM gave him high ratings for positioning, determination and heading, and at the time of writing, Ramos has a career tally of 41 headed goals. Although FM probably underestimated his aggression, they gave him 13 out of 20 at the time, and he's gone on to collect 23 career red cards. But that fire in his belly has made him a great captain, becoming the first man to lead his side to back-to-back Champions Leagues, scoring twice in the final, the same record as Leo Messi. 1. Carlos Tevez. The other star that West Ham somehow managed to sign, Carlos Tevez was the king of Football Manager back in 2005, scoring over 25 first-class goals in his teenage years before Brazil beckoned. However, unlike the then slight midfielder, Tevez took to life in East London like a duck to water, eventually scoring a dramatic late winner to keep the Hammers up while sending Sheffield United down. But before his name became a curse word in Yorkshire, Football Manager saw fit to award him a -10 potential, giving him a shot at becoming one of the greats on the game. In reality, perhaps the Argentine never hit those heights, but he was still integral to Champions League and Copa Libertadores wins, and now has a whopping 8 domestic titles with 5 different clubs.